And we're gonna have fun, fun, fun till Robbie takes my cheeses away. Okay, that's all I got today. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome to a night of fun. We're just going to have fun with cheese. We want fun with cheese.
It is Sunday Fun Day.
It's Sunday Fun Day, yes. And it's important to have fun, right?
It absolutely is.
We're going to do it. And we just want to be silly today. Right?
Yeah, just like every day.
Like every day. That's what makes cheese so fun.
That's why I started working. That's why I continue to work at Venissimo. It's because I want to have fun every day.
Okay, so the minute we just crack the whip, though, you're done. We're done.
I'll tell you what. Sundays used to not be a very fun day for me back in the day.
Okay.
When I first started working, in my early and mid 20s, when I first got into the workforce, because Monday was the next day, and I had to get up
and you sit and dread it all day.
I dreaded it,
and awful.
When Monday started, I was already thinking about Friday afternoon, hoping it would come, and it was like, that's not the way to live.
That's not good.
It's not the way to live. And nothing against that first job I had, but I think I just didn't know myself at the time.
Yeah, and now you do.
Yeah.
And it's all fun. It's all good.
I had to make a couple mistakes, and then I learned what was important.
Yes, very good indeed. Well, everyone, I am Gina, if you don't know.
And I'm RobbyG, the professor.
The professor, sorry.
Come on,
professor.
And you're going to hear a lot of my other cheese names today.
Yes, the Professor McCheese being the first one. First and foremost, the top line title that you have and carry to this day.
By the way, so we're going to give this is going to be like a superhero show where we give the origin story, how some of the names started, and how all this goofiness and silliness even came about. But my oldest brother Dan, who you've met, he called me Cheese Professor McCheese.
Did he?
One day
really coin it?
He was goofing on me. I was like, I kind of like that. So I turned into Professor McCheese, but I don't want to use like a name brand. McCheese is kind of.
That's true. It might be kind of trademarked a little.
I don't want to get in trouble for that.
We won't, right?
So I just am the cheese professor.
You're the cheese professor. Yeah. But as I recall, you've been many things in your past too.
Well, so let's talk about that.
Yeah. What's the origin of all this silliness?
Yeah. Well. First of all, should we talk about
We should tell everyone what's on the plate.
We're getting carried away here.
And yes, not only the name of the cheese, but their special cheese title, right?
So
let's
we're gonna back up and we're gonna talk about some of the fun cheese names that and why we do that. But first, we'll tell you about what's on the plate, and I'll talk about them in order. But the first cheese it could be running.
It should be runny.
It should be runny. Ours it's called Langres, and that's Langres, and it's a cow's milk cheese from France, from Champagne. So it looks like Langres, but it's pronounced Langres.
Langres.
And my cheese name at one point was the Dalai Langres.
Dalai Langres. Very wise. That was in your wise period.
Oh, I've got quotations from the Dalai Langres
as
well.
You do, as do I.
Do you? I see you have a Dalai Lama book.
I busted out my 365 daily pieces of advice from the heart, from the Dalai Langres, from Dharamshala, from his hometown, from the temple in which he lives.
Oh.
So this is official, man.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
So and go ahead and dig in. We didn't do a formal pairing, so whatever you've got with you, go ahead and start munching away. Mm-hmm. The second cheese is going to be the Fontina, and that's the Fontina there in the stick.
Mm-hmm.
There should
More
be a
in
couple
stick
pieces.
Form. Yep, exactly.
And there's a little bit of like
this one's a little bendy,
color on the rind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Fontina is the cheese name for Fontina is FONTINA Turner.
FONTINA Turner.
And I thought of that one, but I couldn't use it for myself because I'm a man.
You know, that doesn't matter, baby.
I could think of one for Ike, maybe.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, we'll work on that one. Next.
The next one is Manchego, which is a classic, and I'm surprised we haven't had Manchego yet on any of these virtuals.
After all the tastings that we've had, 25 in all, no Manchego until today.
And actually, what's really cool about the 4 cheeses on your plate is that they're classic cheeses, and so we're getting a chance to taste some of the staples at Venissimo. Mm-hmm. The cheese name for Manchego is Manchego Unchained.
Manchego Unchained. And that is so cool because so many people pronounce it Manchego.
Yeah.
And it truly is Manchego.
There's no N, at the end of the
In the
cheese.
middle. Manchego.
Manchego. It's Manchego, not
Yes.
Manchego.
Manchego.
There is an N, but it's more towards the beginning. Sorry.
Excellent, Professor. But that's a sheep milk cheese, so that's kind of fun in the mix.
Sheep's milk cheese, and then the fourth one is the Cotswold, and that one is this yellowy orange thing with the herbs in it.
Yes.
It's
Cotswold?
chives and onions.
Chives and onions in the Cotswold from England.
In the Cotswold, cheese name is SCOTSWOLD Baio.
Cotswold Baio. Remember that? Sunday, Monday, happy days. Wasn't that
Chachi?
Scott Baio?
Chachi, right?
He was Chachi.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
He had the sweet 70s hair. Oh
He
yeah.
did. You could pull that off.
I know. We do have the same hair.
You do. Scotswold Baio. That'd be a good one.
So Scotswold Baio. So the cheese names, they range from pop culture references, historical references, sometimes religious references.
Well, Jay-Z's favorite cheese.
So there's gonna be some. This is some new content
Yeah.
for me.
I know,
is
we're
it?
modern. Beyonce.
Beyonce. That's good.
Oh, let the jokes begin.
Do you know who Lil Romeo is?
I do know who Lil Romeo
One of
is.
my cheese names was Lil Romeo because there was a
Lil
cheese called
Romeo.
Romeo. So what we have to do is first
Oh my gosh.
say the name of the cheese,
Okay.
and then we'll give the reference.
Okay. And if you guys have a cheese out there, maybe we could try to put us on the spot.
Yeah.
You could throw out a cheese. We'll see if we know a name or can come up with a funny name for you as we go along.
First, we should talk about and go ahead and dig into the cheeses.
Yeah. Should we start with the Dalai Langres?
Yeah.
You should dig in first while I read you one of my favorite thoughts from the Dalai Langres. Dalai Lama. Now I don't even know who the real guy is. Okay, ready for this? Common sense shows that human life is short-lived and that it's best to make our brief sojourn on this earth something that is useful to oneself and others. Really kind of appropriate for a day of fun, right?
Poignant.
Yeah.
I like it.
So that's something that the Dalai Lama said, and I bet you the Dalai Lama would love the Langres. Yeah?
So
I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
To me, it's nice. It's got a nice salt to it. Mm-hmm. It is perfectly ripe. So when it's runny like that, when it's that texture, it means it is in perfect shape. It is absolutely perfect. When it comes in, it is not that soft. It is not that runny. So it is exactly where it should be right now.
Mm-hmm. The beauty of it, Rob, is the shape of it, everybody. If you buy the whole thing, it comes in about a third of a pound circle wheel. And there's a concave, kind of a crater on the top of it. And it was made specifically, that crater, by the French to pour champagne into. So this one we start getting here now. It's getting into fall, into the holidays. We try to keep this one in stock often because you can just take that, Robin. What a neat treat. It's warm like this. You pour champagne in the center and then just start scooping and digging away. Delicious.
So the reason it's paired with champagne so often is because it is from Champagne. So it is one of the two classic or traditional cheeses that come from the region of Champagne. The other one is called Showers, but they're both cow's milk. They're both softer cheeses, and they both pair incredibly with sparkling wine, but specifically champagne. If you got it.
Oh, we should have had champagne tonight. Oh well, next time.
Well, next time. I think we're going to do champagne
we'll do
soon.
champagne. Exactly.
So here's
I love
my
the Langres. What do you got from the Dalai?
My quote from the Dalai Langres, not Dalai Lama, but Dalai Langres,
Okay.
is that happiness is not something that is ready-made. It comes from eating cheese.
Very wise, Dalai Langres. Yeah, I think that was a quote that he would say.
So, of course, we have some other Eastern philosophers that wanted to chime in.
Oh yes, what did they have to say?
Well, one of them is Lao Mu, as opposed to Lao Tzu. He's the author of The Way, which is spelled W-H-E-Y.
No way.
I'm going to explain this in a second, but his quote, and I think this is brilliant, is the Guernsey is more important than the destination. So,
The
should we explain our jokes?
You should. Maybe perhaps I can translate this language.
You probably haven't heard these
In
ever or in a
eons.
very long time.
Eons. Oh my god. So the Guernsey is like the journey, but
Yeah.
a Guernsey is the cow, the
Yes.
famous cow.
Guernsey is
Oh
a
my
breed
God.
of cow,
Yes.
but I substituted that for the word journey. in this
Journey.
quote.
Ah, you are very wise, Professor.
Here's another Eastern
Okay.
quote that we have. It's better than 1,000 tasteless cheeses is one cheese that brings peace, and that's from a man. He's a little round man. His name is the Gouda.
The Dalai Langres supports the Gouda.
Yeah,
does
so,
he not?
yes, he
Yeah.
does. He sure does. So let me go back and talk about some of the origin and how this all started coming about. Well, when I was hired, and I think Gina was going to print out business cards, or I don't know. I think you just said, what do you want for your cheese name? Oh, I know what it was on the website. There was probably like a handful of people working at Venissimo at the time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then we're like, hey, here's the team, and then everybody had a silly cheese name. And so my first cheese name that I came up with was for mozzarella di bufala. The name was mozzarella di bufala soldier.
Bufala soldier.
Which is a Bob Marley reference.
Swimming in a salad. I don't know. I'm gonna write songs
Something
around
like
all your
that.
things someday. Yeah.
And so let me I'll talk about a couple of the other fun ones that we had over the years. I think the second one was for Munster, and it
That's a
was
good one.
Eddie Munster. Now I could have gone
do
a
that
lot of
name.
directions.
Yes.
For that, I could have been Herman Munster.
You could have been Herman Munster, Eddie Munster.
What was
You
the
could pull off that
wife's
hair
name?
too. You could do the Eddie Munster.
That's true. No, it was at the Widow's Peak.
Yeah, exactly. You could do that for like a Halloween or something. Eddie Munster for Munster.
Eddie Munster. There's a cheese called Hornbacher. So at one point I was Johann Sebastian Hornbacher.
I love that.
That was a fun one. There's a cheese called Trozen. So I was the Trozen one at one point.
I thought you were the man of the cloth-bound cheddar.
At one point there's a cheese called cloth-bound cheddar, and I was man of the cloth-bound cheddar. There is, to keep the religious theme going,
Okay.
there's a cheese called Pilota.
Yes.
So I was Pontius Pilota for a while.
This is what you do, like in the middle of the night, all day.
Obsessed. So I keep a document. That's what I printed out, and it is just anytime I can think of a cheese name. There is
I got one.
Go ahead.
Ticklemore Elmo. Would that be a good one?
So there's
Or do you
a
already
cheese
do that one?
called Ticklemore,
Oh.
and I do have that on my list.
Yeah.
So Ticklemore Elmo is the name.
Ticklemore Elmo.
Or Elmo, sorry. There's a cheese called Sternschnuppe.
Yes.
Do you have a guess as to what my cheese name is? Sternschnuppe.
Howard Sternschnuppe.
Yeah. So the name was Howard Sternschnuppe. There's a cheese called Scharfe Max.
Yes.
So the name for that one was Scharfe Max Headroom. Remember Max Headroom from the 80s?
80s. Super 80s. Yes.
Let's see. There's a cheese called Baracato al Pepe.
Oh no.
And so the name for that one was Baracato al Pepe Le
Le
Pew.
Pew. And the cheese fits that name. The
Very
name
much
fits
so.
the cheese. The cheese fits the name. Yes.
Was Pepe Le Pew a skunk? Wasn't he?
Yes, Pepe
he's
Le Pew is a very
a French
sexy
skunk.
Yes. Sweet.
So I remember once we kind of got rolling, and we would put the names on the website, and then we would every time I printed new business cards.
I had to do new names. Yes, I was
Yeah.
like, "What's your name this time?"
Yeah, and then the other thing we used to do, the system's way updated now, but every time we would close the register at night, we had to print out the close worksheet,
Yeah.
and then whoever did the closing, like counted everything, had to sign the sheet. So I would sign a different name every single time. And at the end of the month, they would have like 30 close worksheets, and it would be a different name
Yeah,
every
who
single
is
time.
this person? So awesome.
But I mean, to me, it's so important to have fun.
It's have fun. That's what we did the whole shop for, Rob, was to have fun with the cheese. And not be so intimidating and kind of so hoity-toity about it all, right?
Yeah.
Just to really have fun and kind of taking that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know when for me when I finished college and I was I had a checklist of things that I kind of needed for my first job.
Yeah.
And it was like, I need benefits. I need to work. I need to be 9 to 5. I need all these. I need all these things. I need to make a certain amount of money, and but I didn't. I put zero, I guess, importance on what I was actually doing.
Yes. I think too many people do that, Rob.
Yeah.
Same. Yes, same.
And I
You
took
go where you're supposed to and what's...
Yeah, because I felt like that's what you're supposed to do. And you're 21, 22.
Yeah.
I just got the college degree, and now I button down and I show up and I go I just get a regular job.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
Exactly. And you hate it.
I did it for 18 months or something, maybe 2 years, and I just was like, I was searching for something else. Maybe it was a quarter life crisis. I don't know what it was.
Quarter life.
But so I moved back to San Diego because I had been working up in San Francisco, and I kind of decided that whatever I do, it's going to be something I'm passionate about. And I knew that the things that I did when I went home from that regular job, I would be hanging out in bookstores or in food places, whether it was specialty shops or going to like a Williams Sonoma and just looking at stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Watching the cooking channel.
Yeah.
So or even watching travel shows and just kind of and I thought, well, why don't I just do something in those fields?
Yeah.
And see if I can get paid for it. And even if it's not as much as I was making before, that'll all come with time.
For sure.
And so when I came back to San Diego, I remember I started working in a bookstore first, and then and I started bussing tables because I had no
food experience, right? Just that you liked it. You loved it, and you're like, oh, I got to get in the food business.
And I tried to be a waiter, and they laughed at me because I had zero experience, and it was a fine dining restaurant, and they were like, well, you can't be a waiter, but you can bus tables.
Right.
And
okay.
Yeah, but from bussing tables, I started learning about etiquette and started seeing how restaurants worked, and I learned a lot more about food, and then one day I was literally riding my bike in Mission Hills, and they had a now hiring sign in the window, and you had just closed, but I grabbed an application, turned it in the next day, and I remember going into the interview, and Gina interviewed me, and I
remember that day 100% crystal clear.
The one that we always say the story, but
interview.
One of the interview questions was, do you speak another language other than English? And I said, yeah, I speak Pig Latin. And anyway, the rest was history, and
could have gone a whole different direction. What would have happened?
But when we started, it was like you get to kind of. You have to be presentable, but I don't have to wear a suit anymore.
Exactly, true.
I get to sleep in.
Yeah.
It's to
talk to the people all day long.
You talk to people, and putting it in perspective, it's stress free. I mean, of course you got to show up and do your job, but it was a joyous place to be, and I think
joy.
It's
a good thing. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that I don't have a lot of gray hairs because I've been selling cheese for the last.
I thought it was the Grecian formula or something. Oh, sorry. No. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that.
Let's keep it that way.
But so the rest is history, and like
there you go. And now doing the other things you love: the writing, the history, the learning, the teaching, the talking.
I like to talk. Is that what you're saying? Well, so a few years into it, as we built the Academy of Cheese up,
you're natural.
Well, so we would take time. So we would take time outside of the shop to do research, and so I would go to a coffee shop or sit at home, and I would literally read books about cheese and take notes. And another thing that I would do is go to the coffee shop, drink 4 cups of coffee in a row. And just sit there and think about cheese names and silly quotes.
pour out of you, and you've got pages and pages and volumes and volumes.
We never knew what we would use this stuff for.
Here it is.
But we thought, hey, maybe merchandise, maybe
Yes.
you used to put a quote across the website, remember?
Yes, exactly. I need to get back to that. I mean, we got a pile of them now. Get back into that. We have a question from our friend Jason. Hey, Jason. Were you ever, this is awesome, were you ever a member of the Humboldt Foggy Bottom Boys?
Hey,
Yeah!
that's good.
That was a good one. Write that down.
I've got a mental note.
Jason, he should be. What's the song that they sing?
They sing the one from that George Clooney movie.
Yeah.
It's
that
old jail movie.
That jail movie. That's you. A Humboldt Foggy Bottom Boy. Yes. Well done.
Well, there's a cheese called Comte. At one point, I was Comte Diggs.
That's pushing it.
There's a cheese called Danby.
Yes.
It was Danby DeVito.
Danby DeVito. I remember when you were Willoughby I Am.
There's a cheese from Vermont called a Willoughby. So, of course, there was a Willoughby I Am at one point.
I remember, homage to Alex. You were Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek, but there was another name for Alex, which was Alex the Great. Oh, sorry, Alexander the Great. And it was spelled Grate.
That's great.
Isn't that great?
It is great.
Should we tell them about the next cheese?
The next cheese, the Fontina, because I think it's going to go with the accoutrement that Kristen was asking about. And I'm going to tell you all about it. But let's jump into the Fontina. And you know what I'm going to do, Rob? If you don't mind, I'm going to cut the cheese.
Oh.
Cheesy jokes abound. So, Fontina Valdaosta.
Love Fontina.
Named Fontina Valdaosta because it comes from that region of Italy. Northern Italy, the mountainous region of Italy. It's in the Alpine style of cheeses, so this is a great one like to add to a fondue, spätzle, anything you're melting, mac and cheese, because it's got excellent melting qualities. This will add velvetness to any dish. A lot of chefs, their secret, honestly, is to add Velveeta to mac and cheese or something to give it smoothness. In the fancy cheese world, Fontina is, I don't want to mean it in a bad way, Fontina is the Velveeta because it melts so smooth, right?
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of imitations of Fontina, and they'll call them things like Fontanella or whatever, but this is the real deal. So it's one of those cheeses that is a classic, and it's protected by the Italian system, and it has to come from that little region that Gina mentioned, and it's the smallest region in the country.
Yep, way up north.
Yeah.
Way up at the border.
It's like it's within another region called Piedmont, and then the other side of Val d'Aosta is Switzerland, I believe.
Yep, Switzerland and Austria, right there.
Oh yeah.
At the crux.
Yeah.
But you guys must try. Kristen, you asked about the accoutrement on the plate today in the little tub, which I adore, and it goes great with the Fontina. It's called mostarda. And mostarda is super strange and it's super Italian. I've only seen it made in Italy. They take sweet fruit, in this case pears, and they add a mustard essence. So you're getting this really sharp, almost bitter bite with the sweet pear. It is fabulous. I love mostarda, and I love mostarda with the Fontina. It's really good with anything. But that is what that is. Italian, we get pear mostarda. We've had lemon mostarda, watermelon rind mostarda. You can have all different flavors. Orange mostarda. And we bring in a lot of it for the holidays because it's so unique and special. That's when in that one. And the movie was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
And thank you to, again, Kristen, who reminded us of that movie.
You guys are all over it.
And Carol, welcome back. There's all these regulars here, and we super appreciate you. So
I bet you we could think of a cheese name for George Clooney.
Let's work on it.
Is there a St. George or something like a?
There is Sao George, right?
Sao George Clooney. There you go.
Sao George Clooney. That sounds so.
There's a Portuguese cheese called Sao George.
Sao George.
So it's Sao George Clooney.
There you go.
There's a cheese name for you.
Foggy Bottom, Sao George Clooney.
I'm making mental. Actually, we're gonna watch this back and take
exactly, and then write all these down.
We should tell them about the other accoutrements on the plate here too.
Do tell.
So there's the mostarda, as you all know. We got fresh figs, so it's obvious where the fresh figs are in the corner there. Beautiful. I just had a Castelvetrano olive, so those are those bright green, really buttery, kind of mild olives, and they're from Sicily in Italy. There's the rosemary, that's one of our signatures.
Yes.
I see the dried cranberries on there, green grapes, Marcona almonds, and apricots, dried apricot. So let's see, I love the Fontina. So as Gina said, it is an Alpine style cheese, and it's always cow's milk, has to be cow's milk. It is so great for any kind of melting dish.
Oh, so great, yeah.
I just bought an 18-pack of mac and cheese from Costco.
And then you do what they call elevate it with your addition of
Oh, don't say
Fontina.
that.
I hate that word, but
Yeah. I hate.
because otherwise it's just a powder pack.
No, I mean the word elevate is like one of those buzzwords.
It is, and you're like, I don't want to elevate or deconstruct.
Yeah, or gentrify.
Or gentrify. I just want to eat. I just want to have fun. Girls just want to have fun, and boys just want to have fun.
That could have been your song today.
It could have been. I needed to go up. Just to wanna up.
I could have done that part. So another thing I thought of when we were thinking about the fun cheese names and the stupid quotes that we've thought of over the years is at one point we adopted a cow.
We did.
We adopted a cow in the Alps.
It's coming back now.
And this is a few years ago. And I remember we had a little contest with
for
our
the
staff.
names. That's right.
And we sent an email out and we're like, hey, we're going to adopt the cow, but there's one problem, that we need a name for our cow. And so if you have any ideas, send them in. So I sent in some names.
Do tell.
Well, so my first one was Forma Jean instead of Norman Jean. You guys get these references, right? My second offer was Milkdred as opposed to Mildred. My third was Vanessa
instead of Vanessa.
Do you remember the Olympian Carrie Strug?
Yes.
So I offered up Dairy Strug. Let's see. There's this is a really insider one, but there's something called beta carotene.
Yes.
Which is found. It's in plants, and when
carrots.
they eat it, it changes the color of the milk. So I offered up Betty carotene.
Nice.
But the one we went with was Queen Lactifa.
Queen Lactifa. I love that. She could have had her own Instagram page and everything.
Yeah, so there was a cow out there, like, on some pasture up in the Austrian. It was in Northern California.
Northern California comes back. Yeah, Austria, Northern California, close.
I thought it was in the Alps. Did we adopt
Remember
another one?
Shauna? We adopted an Alp from there. We adopted a cow from Northern California.
We should adopt.
We do what we can. We adopt what we can. Hey, Carol said here, add this to your professor knowledge base up there if you've got room, that the Grand St. Bernard Pass separates Switzerland from Valdosta.
Oh, nice.
So the Grand St. Bernard. Oh, cool.
Good to know.
Yeah, good to know. Thanks, Carol.
I wonder if that's where the dogs come from.
Yeah, Berners and Bernese and Berners and St. Bernards come from that region.
Yeah. I know they call that area the Grey Alps, and I'm not sure why, but it's that's the.
Okay.
And I've never been to that little region, but I think there's. Is that where there's a train that goes kind of right
which
through
I
the
want
Alps?
to take. I want to take that train.
I want to take that too.
Someday
very badly.
that'd be a good tour. Someday, if any voyage, that train ride.
Go like right from Milan or from somewhere in the north through the Alps and into Switzerland.
Yes, we need that ride. Duly noted.
So another fun one. What are you thinking about?
Our studio is right across from a hotel, and I really did think that the guy was standing there with no clothes on in the window. But I think it was just a towel. I think it was good. He's gone now.
Why was I looking so interested?
I digress. Okay. Back to the cheese names.
So then another fun one was we were making shirts for the staff.
Yes. Oh,
and
that's right.
We came up with a few fun phrases for you to pick from to have on the back of your shirt.
Yep.
They're kind of generic ones.
I, for one, have a friend in cheeses.
A friend in cheeses. You can always do the cheeses and then substitute cheeses. There's a million things you can do there.
And curd is the word.
Curd, anything with curd and word.
Curd is the word.
Okay,
curd,
Pee-wee.
curd.
There's probably a Pee-wee Herman name too. But then one of the phrases was "living on the wedge,"
Oh, good one.
and but then you also said, "But if you want to, you can also make up your own
Sure.
phrase, and,
Yeah.
and we'll print it on the back
Wow.
of your
Of
shirt."
a shirt. And do you know
So-
anyone that did that?
Can you read it?
Let's see. You get into the position. I can't tell from here. I think you're in a good spot. So here, let me straighten you up. Okay. So if anyone can't read this, allow me to. Better to eat cheese and be thought a fool than to not eat cheese and remove all doubt from a quote from Abraham Lincoln Poacher.
So there's a cheese called Lincolnshire Poacher, which I'm sure you all know, and you have it in your fridge at this moment. But the
Lincolnshire
cheese name is Abraham Lincolnshire Poacher.
That's a winner. I think that is awesome.
And Roger, who Gina's husband, who went and had, I think he had the t-shirts printed. He said that I owed like $20 because of all the extra printing that I had to have on my shirt.
That's right.
It was a long quote.
He's the money guy. It's always somebody's spoil sport.
Oh, he was
The
kidding.
whole thing. Okay, answer from Carol. Grey Alps.
Yeah.
It's so high that nothing grows up there. That's big,
Oh.
above the tree line. Like none of the
Makes
vegetation.
total sense.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Carol.
Now you got it.
Carol's our
Everything.
researcher,
The
resident
right-
researcher.
That's right. I like it. We're gonna learn both ways. I like it a lot.
Okay, here's a good quote. My fellow turophiles, turophile is a cheese
lover.
My fellow turophiles, ask not what your cheesemonger can do for you. Ask what you can do for your cheesemonger. And you know who said that?
That was. I'm sure there's a name involved. I was gonna say Martin.
Monterey Jack Kennedy. Monterey Jack Kennedy.
Monterey Jack
That was
Kennedy.
one of my favorite quotes
That's a good one.
of his.
That is a very good one. He's another wise man.
Or how about this one? Do you know who said this? I'll let you guess. I am the cheesiest. And if anyone has a guess out there, as to
I
who
am
said
the
this. I am the
cheesiest.
cheesiest. I'll give you a hint. It was an athlete. The athlete is from, the real person is an athlete, and that he was from Louisville, Kentucky. He punched people
For a living.
in the face.
Didn't
and
bring
body.
much joy to his people.
So,
It was. I think there's gonna be
what's
a name.
his real name?
Muhammad
What's his real name?
Ali. Oh, his real name, right? No. Isn't it Pontius too? It had like what is it? Cassius Clay.
Cassius?
Cassius. Cheese.
You get it?
Curd. I get it now. Rob, you have way too much. I don't know what happens up there. This is just crazy.
But then I think
Cassius.
one of my all-time favorites is by a really famous civil rights activist. He's gone now, but he lives on
Okay.
with a lot of the movements that are happening. But his quote was, "I have a triple cream."
I have a triple cream. I can just see it.
And that was Martin Luther King.
Oh, Keen's cheddar.
And there's a cheddar from England called Keen's cheddar. But here's another good one, and I'll let you guess as to who said this. Aged cheese is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
I love that. You know what? Can that be my quote?
Yeah.
Okay. But who is it?
Well, I'll give you a hint. He's the author. He's the author of Tom Sawyer and Mark Twain.
Oh, okay.
His writing name or his pen name is not the same as his real name, but his cheese name is based off of his pen name.
I think you lost me.
Quark
Oh,
Twain.
boy. Quark Twain, because quark is a cheese.
Quark is a fresh cheese
Oh.
from Germany, and so Quark Twain
Quark
said that.
Twain. I bet, Rob, this is going to be a challenge. We're going to take our whole library of 2,000 cheeses, and there must be a name with every single one of them.
I think we can do it.
I'm going to tell, yes, I think this is it. Yeah.
There's a blue cheese called Shropshire. Now I'm saying that the cheese names. Shropshire is from England, and there was a time where my cheese name was Shropshire Lock Holmes.
Shropshire Lock
Holmes.
Hey, you know why the cheesemonger was lopsided, right?
Why?
He only had one Stilton. Stilton.
Did you write these?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I can take zero credit for these. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. We better go to Manchego before everybody falls off. Manchego Unchained.
Uh-huh.
This is one of the most popular cheeses at the shop. This is Manchego Artesano. There's dozens of styles of Manchego. This one happens to be called Artesano. Raw milk, beautiful, slippery. It's really because it's sheep milk. Slippery. I don't think that's quite the word, but it's yummy. Manchego.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, everybody calls Manchego.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I don't know where that comes from.
But that's the most mispronounced cheese name, I think, is Manchego.
No.
Manchego.
So I thought it'd be funny to do a cheese name for Manchego instead of Manchego, and that's where Manchego Unchained came from.
Manchego, yes, is really good, and that was a good one. And Kristen thinks we should do this, Rob. I'm going to do this. We're working, Kristen, on a whole cheese library on the website with cheeses, the descriptions and stuff, but it should have their alter ego name on it at the same time. So, duly noted. We'll add that to the database. Yeah.
So there's a cheese from Oregon, I don't know if you remember, called Fenacho.
Yes, we tried to get it.
Fenacho. And has fenugreek in it. And so the cheese name for a while was Fenacho Libre.
And that's exactly, you know what to say when that's nacho cheese. That's nacho cheese.
Can you say that joke?
I can't
I've
say
never
that
heard
joke.
it before.
Yeah, exactly. Never heard it.
That's another funny one is when people come in with their cheese jokes and they think we've never heard them before.
It is
sometimes
fun.
if you can give us a new one.
Oh yeah.
If anyone has a new cheese joke, we will give you a prize.
I would love it.
I don't know what that prize is going to be, but we'll give you a prize.
Yeah, some prize. Okay. Manchego. Classic. I think it'd be good with the mostarda as well.
Yeah. Manchego, classic cheese. I can't believe we've never talked about it on one of these virtuals, but Manchego is always sheep's milk. It has to be aged a minimum, and I want to say it's 3 months for minimum age, which means it's always going to be a harder cheese. If it's closer to 3 months, it'll be milder. It'll be a little bit more, a little bit softer. If it's closer to 3 months, ours is what, 12? Is it a 12 or 6 month?
Artesano's 12.
Okay, so we've got about. This one has a year or so on it, and it gets a little bit grittier and a little bit. They've got a little bit of crunch to it. They get aged a little bit longer.
They get aged longer. I'm happy to be in the cheese business. Speaking of age, because just like fine wine and cheese and Gina get better when we age.
It's true.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself.
Well, I'll tell you what helps. What helps the aging process is no stress and having fun
and laughing. Yeah, exactly. Right? Then it'd be fine. Yeah,
we laugh.
Will be well.
We laugh all day.
We do all day long.
As you can see, as you can tell.
I love Scott Baio. Can we order Cotswold? Scotswold Baio.
One of the first cheeses that that I became familiar with at Venissimo was Cotswold.
Was it really? Like you walk in, is that the first one you tasted, or it just happened to be? Or do you remember?
You know what? When I first started working in Mission Hills way back in the day, it was just one that we always had. It was always in the same place. It was like middle shelf on the left when you walked in. I don't know. It probably is still there. And it was I
think it has its permanent home.
It was popular, and I really, really like it as a snacking cheese. I'm an onion person. I love onions and garlic. Yeah. And so...
This one, though, smell it, you guys. It's chives all the way.
This one is actually kind of firmer. Like, this is... I feel...
Chive talking. You're going to write all the names. I'm going to write little song skits with all the names. Because you could be jive talking, jive, right? Yeah.
Do you know who sings that?
No. It was from the 70s.
The Bee Cheese.
The Bee Gees did? That's right. It's the...
No, the Bee Cheese.
Oh, my God.
I just came up with that.
Beef cheese, that was good. I can't remember Jeff having some beef cheese. I like it.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I'm busy eating Scotswold.
Scotswold Baio.
I love this cheese. Melted in eggs. Rob, I'm not kidding.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh.
Cotswold is a great melter. I love it.
Noodles.
Just in a grilled cheese. You don't need to add anything to it. It's got all the flavor you need. It melts really well. Love this cheese.
This one goes good with the rosemary. I'm saying too.
Try it.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
So Cotswold is always
a bad rap.
It does. It gets a bad rap because it's flavored, and I know some purists don't like flavors in their cheese. They don't like herbs or spices or anything added to it. It's got the chives and onions. It also has like that kind of American cheese color to it, which I think adds to it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't affect the flavor at all.
Yeah.
But the Cotswold is from a place called the Cotswolds, which is kind of like a hilly
Appropriate.
area. Yeah. In England. And it's really more like they call the style of cheese a double Gloucester, which is
double cream.
Yeah, double cream, but it's a little bit firmer and can be kind of crumbly. And it's a very English style of cheese.
Most definitely. We have a new chatter, Tiffany, Rob, who suggested you could check out Bob's Burger, and they have a burger of the day, and she said that they make inspirational food puns too.
Oh, really?
So you could see if you could out-pun Bob's Burgers.
I've seen a lot of those. That's a cartoon, right?
I must be. I'm not sure. But yeah, inspirational food puns. Thanks, Tiffany. We'll check it out. And Jason asked, by the way, two things. Yes, Roger does the deliveries. He's our CFO. He's our delivery
boy
person right now. Right now, he's being plumber at our Del Mar shop.
I know. I saw the tools out over there.
Yeah, as we speak, he's being a plumber. So he's a man that wears multiple hats. And the sound you guys are all hearing in the background in the studio are the sirens of downtown and the baseball stadium.
Yeah.
So we're hearing the Padres.
Padres
Hopefully
are
they're
playing.
doing well. That is the noise. It is not the Godfather. It sounded like something, but it is the Padres. All right, Scotswold. I love that, Rob. I got another joke for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
What did the cheese say to the therapist?
I don't know. I give up.
I can't bear it any longer. What do you think? Do you like the dramatic reading of that too?
Yes. I had one.
Oh, another one. Wait, Jason brought up. Do you have this one? Monterey Jack of all trades.
No, that's
Good one.
I have a number of Jack. Like, so anyone Jack, it could be Monterey Jack such and such. So I had a few of those, but I didn't have Monterey Jack.
Monterey
of all
Jack of all
trades.
trades. That's good.
That's
yeah.
a good one. Then there's a cheese called Forsterkoss.
Yes.
And so the name was E.M. Forsterkoss. E.M. Forster is a...
Ian Forster, yes. Writer, right?
Yeah. There was a cheese called Alp Blossom.
Yes.
This is one of my favorites. This would be more for you. But the cheese name was TV's Alp Blossom Russo. Do you remember
Yes,
Blossom Russo?
Blossom. Whoa.
Whoa, that was
That's
Joey.
pushing it.
Whoa. That was Joey Lawrence.
Yes, right.
There's a cheese called Chimay. So I was gonna also give you Chimay West.
Oh, I like Chimay West.
You could be Chimay West.
Sexy Chimay West. I'm trying to get one that you haven't said yet that I remember you saying.
There's a Gouda called Rumano. And for a while I was Ray Romano.
That was good too.
Or here's one. There's a blue cheese called Tilston Point.
Yes.
Tilston Point blue cheese. So I was Tilston Point Dexter.
Why does that suit you really well?
I remember during the week of Comic-Con, I was in honor of all the nerds that were in town. I was Tilston Point Dexter. No
offense, nerds. Yeah.
No, being a nerd is a good thing,
Yes,
by the way, when you're a grown up.
No, yeah. Or I think this could be classified as very Nerdville.
What?
Yeah. We're living it up in Nerdville. What about not cheese, but even meats?
Yeah.
You played with meat words like Huckleberry Finocchiona.
There's a salami that's made with fennel called Finocchiona. It's a classic Italian recipe. So for a while, speaking of Mark Twain, it was Huckleberry Finocchiona.
Huckleberry Finocchiona. You were also Pâté La Belle.
Pate Labelle. That's a good one. Pate.
Pate Labelle.
There's a prosciutto called San Daniele.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also San Daniele-san. Daniel-san.
Okay. Wow.
Is that a stretch?
Pushing it. Yep.
Come on, Cobra Kai's on Netflix now.
Okay. No.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's a Karate Kid reference. Come on, can you tell I grew up in the 80s?
No kidding. I love it. I love it.
No,
So
but
fun. No,
you know,
it's all good and fun.
I have to say it's a good thing where when you every day I'm an early bird, but I don't have to get up early. I was gonna say it's nice because we get to sleep in, we get to wear what we want, we get to we get
fringe
to have
benefits that you don't remember.
Yeah, and like Gina was saying, you know, we're a small company. I don't know if it seems like we're small or not, but there's a few people doing a lot of things, and we all wear many hats.
That's what's fun, though, right?
That is what's fun.
Yeah.
And so, like, part of what kind of turned me off working for a big company was that if I had an idea, there was a good chance that it was nothing would ever. If I said something, that nothing would ever be followed through on. Yeah. But when you work for a small little place like Venissimo, if we have an idea, we can follow through with it, and we can get creative, and it's just I would say that's the funnest part of the job is to watch something come to fruition, whether it's a class idea or a trip or making merchandise with silly cheese quotes on them,
coming up with all these fun ideas for the plates and events. And Rob, that's been the most joyous thing to see too, is everybody has these great ideas. You put all the heads together of just making it fun and making it great, and it is great, you know, and giving it a try, giving it a whirl.
And the other thing I'll say about fun is, you know, sometimes we talk about when we first started doing presentations, and this was a long time ago, but Gina and I used to, the first few months we would do them together. We would kind of tag team because we didn't know what to expect, and people were paying for them, and we wanted to make sure we were over-delivering.
Yes.
And I remember having these long, you know, 10-page outlines that I thought I would have to read.
Word for word.
Yeah. And what we realized is, yes, we are selling kind of information, and we want people to learn, but what's even more important, and what we realized what this is all about is it's about having fun and having a good, relaxing night out.
Selling joy, like not just sharing joy.
Well, maybe in San Francisco or New York, and maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe it's more formal, but we're in San Diego, and we wear flip-flops and shorts and T-shirts.
Exactly.
And it's just all about it's all about having fun and being cash. Living. You know,
and
lifestyle.
Just making it good, making it count, being delicious.
That's a bonus.
But it's all fun and good, and we appreciate you joining us on this fun adventure and experiment of fun. And you know what we have next for fun, Rob?
Friday. Oh, platter making?
Yes, platter making. So this one, you guys, I'm going to learn myself, because I've been out of my hands aren't on the platters every day like they used to be. And to see the designs that everyone comes up with, we have our own manager, monger, and chef Sarah, who's from Del Mar.
And a lot of you met Sarah.
A lot of you met her and know her. She's going to be hostessing this how to design a party platter, because here we are coming into the season of, you know, having dinners, even if it's smaller dinners now. You're having a couple family members over, you're having, you know, you're celebrating for some reason. I'm going to show you all the secrets and tricks of how to cut the cheese in different wedges, how to lay it on a plate to give it some drama and beauty. So the class is going to be super fun. The kit is really everything to make the tray, and then you can make it while Sarah talks. So you could be making it while we are doing the class, and then you eat the results. You know, our tray sales are probably going to go down after this. Dumb idea. I mean, Roger's going to be pissed.
No, but you'll see kind of everybody does them different, and we say our trays are like snowflakes, and
no two are alike.
And everybody, that's another way where you get to kind of put your little touch on things. I mean, so whatever store you order from, whoever's working in that shop is going to make some people like a mosaic style, some people do like a a very like 3D, very textured style.
Yes, exactly, with
Stacked.
layers, and you can tell everyone has a style.
Yeah.
You're like, that's a Danya, that is a Nate, that's a Sarah. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Well, the cool thing with the platters, I noticed, was when Instagram became really popular, each of our shops had an Instagram account.
Yeah.
And so then they would start competing, like a healthy competition.
Yes,
where
it's still a competition.
And so I forget who started it, but they would
North
post.
Park really did. They with that, but now everybody's trying on their heels trying to catch them.
And that's always what we do is we take little
fun.
bits from each shop, and then we kind of appropriate
And
it
learn exactly. Like, oh my
Take
gosh,
it
that's
from
a great idea. I should do that.
It's so much fun, and
Yeah,
I was
keep it that way always.
I was telling Gina, I just recently landscaped my house, the outside of my house.
Did you lay it out like a tree?
I laid it out like a cheese platter.
You did a swirl.
That's all I could think
little
about.
Pebbles like this.
I was like, oh, I need a different color here. I need some contrast here.
Like
And
a tray.
I was totally thinking about olives and crackers and wedges of cheese. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's so good. Honestly. Well, thank you again, everyone. Hope to see you again soon. All these notes are online. Now we have all of the tasting pairings and everything on a page, on our events page on our website. And thanks for tuning in. Have a relaxing rest of your Sunday, and hope to see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Stay cheesy.
Happy Sunday Fun Day.
Always stay cheesy.
Bye.
Being cheesy is good, right?